everybody. Hopefully this works. I'm trying something new and we're going to see if this will be an easier way for me to communicate with you guys what we did in class. So this was week 1 of cycle 1 and we had a really fun week. It was a great morning. Everybody participated and we had a lot of fun, and our class is noisy and active and it was great. The first thing we did was we went over timeline, and for timeline I do a game called Battleship, and so I have my cards, and then there are 4 of them with like a little ship on the back, and so I made it into a fun competition for the kids. So it's Mrs. Coldagelli versus the class, and as you can see yesterday, the kids won. So that was fun. They had a good time doing that. We say them through, and then the kids pick a couple of cards, so then I remove those cards, and then they have to remember when we go back through and we repeat it again. They're the ones that are saying I stopped talking on the cards that they picked already and that I pulled down, so then they have to think of the card that's missing. The next thing we did for math is it was really simple. We're only doing the 1s and the skip counting for the 2s. So we did action dice, and I wrote 6 different fun actions on the whiteboard, and so then when they rolled the dice, number 1 was like jumping jacks, and so when they got that, then when we went through our skip counting, we would have to do jumping jacks while we did that. For history, it's a longer one, but we were able, a lot of the kids were already familiar with it, so I did hand motions for that to help go along with it. So we did thou shalt, and we held up one finger to remember it's commandment number 1, and we say, have no other gods before me. And then for 2, instead of doing this, we do this, and we go, not make unto thee any graven image. And it's like the guy bowing to the idol, so we're not going to do that, not make unto thee any graven image. And then for 3, we go like this, and we hold out 3, and we say, not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. So we're covering our mouths. We're not going to take the name of the Lord our God in vain. And then we go like this. Remember the Sabbath day. So we're remembering the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And then for 5, we go like this, and we do the ASL for father. Honor thy father and mother, that thy days. And then we just go like this. May be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. And then we'll keep going with that song. And the kids had a good time singing that. For geography, we're talking about the Fertile Crescent this week. So I just did tell me, show me. I repeated all of it, and then I would tell them, and they had to point it out. And I just kind of went around to the students and had them show me or tell me where I was pointing to on the map, or tell me the name of the location. Then for science, it's the classifications of living things. And we did hand motions for this one as well to help us remember. So we did, what are the classifications of living things? The classifications of living things are, and we made a dome over our head, domain, kingdom, and then we filed our nails, phylum, and then we did class. We pointed to everyone in the class, class, and then order in the court, order, and then we held our hands like we're holding a baby, family, and then we rubbed our legs like our jeans. You're touching your jeans, genus, and then we just kind of went species, and we said it all goofy and little. So that's a fun way. So we go, I'll do it again, domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. The next thing we did for English, we talked about a preposition, and the class, half of them knew one song and the other half knew another song, but we just did silly voices when we did it during the new grammar time. But then in review, we got to sing our songs that we knew. So the song that I know for it is a preposition relates a noun, or a pronoun to another word, So that's the song that I know and that half the kids knew, and then the other half, they knew a different one, which I don't remember what it was. But it was good to see that they already are familiar with some of this stuff and can remember going over it in the past. The last thing was Latin, and we did the noun cases. All the students were super familiar with this one, so we just passed the ball around and kind of did like a hot potato. So kids sat down if by the time we got to the end, they had already they were holding the ball by the end of the song, and then we just kept going. The other things we covered, fine. We do art first. So for fine arts, we were just covering the basics, the 5 elements of shape. So I asked a lot of questions, and we talked about oils and what does that mean and where do we see that in art. The kids were super engaged with that, and they had all the answers, so it was really fun. And then we played a fun game of each one got a piece of paper and a black marker, and they got to write down, they got to draw one element of shape. And then I collected all the papers, mixed them up, and passed them out, so everyone got a different one, not their own. And then I gave them colored markers, and they got to create a picture from that, starting from that element of shape that they had. We got some great pictures, hilarious ones. Like I can show you an example here. So we did it a second time, and I let them draw 2 elements of shape. So one of the students did 2 circles. Oh, sorry, my camera is backwards here. 2 circles, and so he took that and he turned it into a daddy spider with a mustache and a baby spider with curly hair. So it was really cute. And then I let them present and share with the class what did they start with and what was their picture in the end, and tell us a little bit about it. Presentation time went really well. The kids knew right away, like one of the first things I asked them, like, what are we looking for when we're presenting? What do we want to do? And they, excellent answers, eye contact, introducing yourself, and making sure that you speak up, and then also as a listener, making sure that we're listening. The kids all had something to do, so that was great, and they did a really good job answering questions from the class and making that eye contact. For review, I introduced one of the games that we'll be playing throughout the year called Hit the Deck, and it was really fun. I just put some tape down on the floors and sectioned off, and Mrs. Ferris was in our room, so she was the caller. So she would call out upper deck, middle deck, lower deck, and the kids would have to run to it, and the last one to that spot would tell me which subject we were going to answer questions from. So then they would pick the subject, and then I would ask the questions, we would do the review, and then Mrs. Ferris would call out again another location, and the kids would all run there. The kids really liked that. It got them moving and competitive, and then randomly I would yell out, get to work. I would not yell that out. I would randomly yell out, hit the deck, and then everybody had to fall. So it was goofy and lots of movement and energy, and that is exactly what we needed. So if you have any questions for me this week, just let me know. You can reach out to my email or comment down here, and I will try and answer it. Oh my gosh, guess what I forgot? Science. Science was so fun. The kids had so much to say and so many answers. Again, I try and lead with science, asking lots of questions, because I love it when the kids already have an idea, and I know, like, I love hearing what it is that they know already. So a lot of them said that they had a garden and were really like invested from that point, and a lot of them took beans home with them. So hopefully you got the email from Erica about how to start those plants, and hopefully we'll maybe see some presentations later on in the year of the baby beans that you guys have been growing. But yes, great discussion, great observations and participation throughout all of that. The keywords for that were the dicot, the radical, hypocotyl, epicotyl, all those fun words, just identifying the different parts of the bean. Let me see. where I can show you guys. So this is what we went over. These are all the different parts that we went over. So you can see avocado. They really liked talking about the seed coat, and they had really good input on like, oh, a coat, we can relate that to an actual coat in the wintertime, and that's protecting this seed. And one of the students was really, it was super fun because we handed him the bean and he said, oh, that looks like the belly button. And that is the hilum. That's what we call the belly button of the seed because it was where it was attached to the pod before. So that's really neat. It was great to make those connections and to talk about God's creation and how a plant is already inside that little seed just ready to grow. That is all I have for this week, and I really look forward to working with this class. They were lots of fun, and I hope you guys find this helpful. All right.